एक ही चीज बदलती है, दर्शक की जगह पे कैमरा आ जाता है। और मैंने अपनी ज़िंदगी में उसके अलावा कुछ ज़्यादा बदलाव नहीं किए हैं परफॉर्मेंस वाइज। अगर मैं नमन से बात करूँगा सिनेमा में भी तो मेरे पिच बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि बिकॉज नमन मुझसे कुछ दूर है। लेकिन जब मैं डीके से बात करूँगा तो मेरा पिच डिफरेंट होगा, बिकॉज ये मेरे बिल्कुल करीब है। द इनिशियल डेज ऑफ द स्ट्रगल इन मुंबई वाज वेरी बैड, बट द लो दैट आई have faced after a few years of Satya, that was handled very well. I suddenly, I became very disciplined. I started working on myself, and I started thinking that I have to really prepare myself for the next opportunity. So that character will never, help me in becoming a better human being. But yes, what happens when you are playing a character, any character, but in Mumbai when you land, you don't know anybody, and you don't have enough money. I used to conduct workshops, I used to attend workshops, I used to read a lot, I used to go back to my village, meet people, just watch plays, watch films. The low that I faced after a few years of Satya, that I took it very well, I would say. Lows are, or struggle times are the best time to really solidify yourself.
विश्व हिंदी टाइम्स से सुरेश शर्मा। मैं आदरणीय मनोज वाजपेयी जी से पूछना चाहता हूँ, ये जो OTT प्लेटफॉर्म है, ओवर द टॉप प्लेटफॉर्म, ये 15 साल इसके होने जा रहे हैं। ये रिलायंस एंटरटेनमेंट ने इसकी शुरुआत की थी 2008 में, अब 15 साल हो गए हैं। इस बीच इसका एक रूप बन गया है। तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि सिनेमा, फिर टीवी सीरियल और उसके बाद ये सीरीज, वाजपेयी जी सिनेमा के भी लीजेंड रहे हैं और ये जो सीरीज है उसके भी लीजेंड हो गए हैं। तो इसके तीनों के विधा में, यानी फिल्म और ये आपका टीवी और सीरीज, इसके स्टोरी स्ट्रक्चर में क्या अंतर होता है? क्या अंतर होता है? दूसरा ये कि आप एक एक्टर की तरह तीनों जो अब जेनर है, इसमें एक्टिंग में कुछ बदलाव अपना करते हैं, आपको कुछ या कोई फर्क नहीं आता?
सुरेश जी नमस्कार, कैसे हैं आप? दिल्ली जब से गए मिलना बंद हो गया आपसे जी। पहला तो वो जो स्ट्रक्चर, that question I think you guys should address. How do you structure this differently for films and OTT films and OTT series? How do you structure differently? I think that question should be asked. एक्टर के तौर पे सर मैं हमेशा से मानना रहा है कि मीडियम चाहे भले बदल जाए, चाहे वो थिएटर हो, चाहे रंगमंच हो, थिएटर हो, OTT हो, चाहे वो आपको फिल्म्स हो, थिएटर फिल्म्स, एक ही चीज बदलती है, दर्शक की जगह पे कैमरा आ जाता है। और मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में उसके अलावा कुछ ज्यादा बदलाव नहीं किए हैं परफॉर्मेंस वाइज। एक किसी डायरेक्टर ने कहा था कि आप थिएटर में परफॉर्म करते हो तो लास्ट रो के लिए परफॉर्म करते हो, बट यहाँ पे लास्ट रो के लिए परफॉर्म करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कैमरा आपका दर्शक है। सो दैट एक्चुअली वो उस बात ने जो है मेरे सारे चीज़ों को सॉल्व कर दिया था कि नाउ यू आर एक्टिंग फॉर द कैमरा, यू आर नॉट एक्टिंग फॉर द ऑडियंस। थिएटर में ऑडियंस सामने होती है, आप उनके लिए परफॉर्म कर रहे थे, इसलिए आपको लास्ट रो में भी सुनाई दे उसकी उतना प्रोजेक्शन आपको करना पड़ता है। लेकिन जब कैमरा ही आपका ऑडियंस है तो आपको प्रोजेक्शन करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है। आपको सिर्फ ये ध्यान रखना है कि आपका कैरेक्टर जिससे आप बात कर रहे हैं कितनी दूरी पे खड़ा है। मेरी प्रॉब्लम वो नहीं होती, मेरी प्रॉब्लम होती है सटल एक्टिंग के नाम पे लोग जो नमन अगर उतनी दूर है तो सटल एक्टिंग के नाम पे मैं बुदबुदाऊंगा, नहीं तो लोग कहेंगे कि ओवर द टॉप हो रहा है। ये जो डर है ओवर द टॉप होने का वो इसलिए आता है बिकॉज हम लोग का स्किल सेट तैयार नहीं हुआ है। अगर मैं नमन से बात करूंगा सिनेमा में भी तो मेरे पिच बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि बिकॉज नमन मुझसे कुछ दूर है, लेकिन जब मैं डीके से बात करूंगा तो मेरा पिच डिफरेंट होगा बिकॉज ये मेरे बिल्कुल करीब है। बट आजकल हमारे सिनेमा में सटल एक्टिंग के नाम पे हम दोनों से एक ही पिच पे बात कर रहे होते हैं, क्योंकि कहीं ज़्यादा ना हो जाए। दैट्स ऑल, उसके अलावा कुछ चेंज किया नहीं जाता है। वेल, डिपेंड्स what kind of characters we are playing. If you ask me what characters made me a better human being, I would say Ramchandra Siras of Aligarh. He was a good man. I was playing a character who was basically a very fantastic human being. But when you are playing a character like Shrikant Tiwari, who is lying all the time, he's a good man, but his grey is a little much more, okay, than just the good side, because he has to be too many things in one day, So he's calling all kind of tricks, putting all kind of tricks to really do the job of a husband, of a father, of a spy, of a colleague, So to very few characters that you play, and actually helps you in becoming a better human being. There was a film called Gali Guliyan that I have played, but that man was, breaking down mentally, in the entire film. That there was a graph of him breaking down. By the end of it, I was almost on the verge of having nervous breakdown. So that character will never, help me in becoming a better human being. But yes, what happens when you are playing a character, any character, you are trying to understand other character.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay? When you are trying to understand patiently, when I'm trying to understand a character, that is also giving me a capacity or a strength, a way to understand others. Okay? Because what happens that in actual life, we are too self-obsessed. We are too much in love with ourselves. So we don't try to really understand the person who is talking to me or who I am coming across, who's sitting a little far away. So what is the best part about our profession as actors? That we are looking at people, we are observing them, we are trying to understand their backstory, we are trying to understand what mental conflict they are going through, all of those, aspect about other human beings. And where else you can, get to do that? As an actor, that is why they say you can be a very good actor if you are a good human being. Why they say that? Because when you are a good human being, you try to understand others.
Thank you. It's a lovely panel ahead in front of us. And thank you for sharing your personal experiences, which is very enriching for all of us over here. My question is a general question for everybody, even in the people sitting in the auditorium. But Manoj, this is for you.
Dolly.
Yeah, we have grown together from theatre till and your first film, Bandit Queen, was shared. And I feel, even as Dolly, I feel there has been success and failures in all our lives. I want to know the Manoj that I know, how has he faced failures? Success is there in front of us, but there have been moments like me also, we get into our own shells, So I want to know, Manoj, how you dealt with it.
Dolly, the initial time in Bombay, Mumbai, which is called now, initial years in Mumbai without work was very difficult. Why it was difficult? Because when I was doing theatre, when you were also there, we were doing theatre without getting paid. I mean, there is no money in theatre. So, but I was very busy. I was kind of working with Barry John. I had my own group that I was busy with. There was no time for anything else. But the amount of work that we were putting in theatre, it was not giving us time to even think that we are hungry. Okay? It was not giving us time to think that we don't have money to take a bus back to the room. Okay? It was not giving us time for anything. We were so driven, we were so passionate. Days were filled with activities and the plays and the rehearsals.
And suddenly when you land in Mumbai, you don't have work. And everybody thinks that our days in Delhi was difficult. No, it was so fantastic because we were learning every day, we were practicing, we were rehearsing. There was no time for anything. If we felt that I want to have samosa, I'm very hungry, I'll immediately go to DK and say, if you have 2 rupees, give it to me, I want to buy a samosa. So that was the kind of time we enjoyed together with our friends, with our colleagues who were working together. But in Mumbai, when you land, you don't know anybody and you don't have enough money. You have to really be worried about your rent, you have to be worried about your food, and you don't have work. Whichever office you go to, a person who came straight away from his village and landed in that office, and you who have done 10 years of theatre will be measured equally. Okay? So that was a very frustrating time, and it was a horrendous time. But the low that I faced after a few years of Satya, that I took it very well, I would say. After those 5-6 years of lows, I think I have used it so well that never seemed like low. I used to conduct workshops, I used to attend workshops, I used to read a lot, I used to go back to my village, meet people, just watch plays, watch films. So the initial days of the struggle in Mumbai was very bad, but the low that I have faced after a few years of Satya, that was handled very well. I suddenly, I became very disciplined. I started working on myself, and I started thinking that I have to really prepare myself for the next opportunity. So that somewhere gave me this lesson that lows are or struggle times are the best time to really solidify yourself. And because if you are not working on yourself, how are you going to use the opportunity which will land up in your lap? So it's best to keep working on yourself. I know it's easier said than done. मनोज बाजपेयी यहाँ से ज्ञान दे सकता है आपको, लेकिन खुद पे पड़ती हो तो बहुत भारी पड़ता है. But there is no other choice. There is no other option. You have to prepare yourself for the opportunity which may come from directors like Raj and DK. And that time you can't say that I'm going back to workshop to learn acting. You can't afford to say that. No, that's a very good question actually. I don't know whether it's a question or not, but one thing, all OTT platforms started with initially, that they were really mentoring independent cinema. And that somewhere, got lost. Somewhere, I don't know for what reason, that it has gone down completely. Now we see all the box office blockbusters making their way big time. But the independent cinema movement that started, and it was getting such mentorship from the OTT platforms, that is gone. And that is a very sad development, because if independent cinemas are not there, I don't think there will be will not grow as the industry. Will only grow as an industry in terms of money, but will not grow as an industry as creative people.
Yeah, new voices.
Yeah,
totally.
New voices should be applauded, should be given platforms. So I think that they were doing it so beautifully well.
Yeah, they were earlier. Yeah. All these movies were directly made or shown on OTT. Now there's a clause that it has to play in theaters. Only then we'll take it. Right there is taken off all the cinema that can actually be watched. They're all sitting there in cans because they're not going to get a film released so easily.
No, I mean it's so difficult for any independent film to really stand a chance in front of a say Jawan or Pathan or say Tiger 3. It can't stand a chance. And if you are giving shows at 9 o'clock in the morning for an independent film, it will never do well. It will fall flat. But the platforms were doing it so well. They were
really mentoring it initially. I want and I really request from this stage to all these platforms to really revive that mentorship and give I'm an actor and I'm just when our films are releasing, you become very selfish. So I would like to plug in Joram here. Joram, our film is releasing on 8 December in theatre. We've talked enough about independent films, and this film has done wonders in all the festivals. It's a great film. Personally, I feel it's a great film. Please go and watch it in theatre. सिर्फ बड़ी फिल्में देखने नहीं जाना होता है, ये भी फिल्में देखनी होती है. देखने जरूर जाइएगा. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Naman Ramachandran, for moderating the session. We also thank our esteemed panel members for sharing their insights and experiences with us. We also like to thank the 54th International Film Festival of India and Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute for this session. We thank you, the audience, for being with us. We hope you enjoyed the session and learned something new. We hope to see you again for our next session. Thank you.